Dunedin City Councillor Hilary Calvert has announced that she will not be standing in the upcoming elections. She's done with the DCC, she's done with local body politics, she wants out, and she had a few parting shots as she made the announcement to some of the people she's been working with for the past few years. And David Loughrey, you've covered this very heavily in the ODT as of the last couple of days. Tell us the synopsis. What's happening?
Well, I mean, I had a nice chat with Councillor Calvert in her office yesterday, and she's really saying she feels she can't make a difference at the council, and she had a sort of a veiled shot at, I guess, people with green leanings, you know, who want to spend too much time trying to look after the planet rather than worry about parking issues. And she also had a bit of a go at Mayor Dave Cull, saying that he'd made it a bit hard. He'd made it hard for people that disagreed with the majority or with Dave Cull and people who support him. I suppose Councillor Calvert had differing views from quite a few of the councillors. She has a history in the ACT party.
So does that mean she's more right wing?
Oh yeah, I think you could definitely say that. Look, it makes me think of when Peter Chin was mayor. He always used to say, if you want to be successful at the council, you can't do it on your own. You have to get a group of people around you, and you have to get them to agree with you. You have to convince them. You have to convince you have to convince exactly 8 people, which is a majority in the council, to vote with what you're doing. And really, there are, I mean, Aaron Hawkins is openly Green Party member, he got voted in, so I mean, this is I guess what the electors have asked for.
Do you think that the council as it sits right now, because we have had conversations on ODT TV the last month or so about a lot of people complaining about the quote green agenda on the council, but do you think the council is a fair representation of the city? I mean, we have 2 Labour MPs who are our seat MPs in Dunedin. It seems to be left-leaning in other areas, so a left-leaning council, is that a fair representation of the people?
No, I don't think you call it a left-leaning council. I think it's got a reasonably good spread, and for some time also the council hasn't really had a direct political affiliations. Aaron Hawkins is the only one at the moment. I guess, you know, what's interesting also with Hilary Calvert standing down is it means there's a lot of new spaces for people now on the council, because there's John Bezette, who's been there for about 30 years, is giving it away. Andrew Noon, who's been there for a long time, has been a fairly effective councillor. Neville Peat, and Richard Thompson, who's obviously involved with the Southern District Health Board and also has been a pretty effective councillor, is standing down. So that's five people. So it's quite remarkable, and it'll certainly, the next council we have, it'll be really interesting to see its makeup.
It's interesting as well, because we talk about the spread of the council, and there's no particular political affiliation in the council. If someone who was an ACT Party member, who you'd say, I guess realistically, is more right than say Hawkins, for example,
I think
if they
realistically
leave,
say that,
does it also do a disservice to the community, because we could lose the spread of opinion as well? I mean, but what she's saying is the spread of the opinion doesn't matter, because it always goes the other way. That's what she's saying.
No, I mean, I did ask her about that. I said, look, you know, if you have these views, shouldn't you actually stay? And I mean, her response really was that she just felt that she was, you know, unable to make a difference there, and was not going to do it anymore. So I mean, that's her decision.
Some of the accusations she made were that groups were getting together, having covert meetings, making council public held meetings basically irrelevant. So she was saying that people behind the scenes are making decisions and then putting on a charade of saying, now what does the public think, but the decision's already made. Do you think they're fair criticisms, or is that just someone who's hurting a bit because they have to give up what they were doing, going out with a parting shot?
Look, it's a wee bit hard to say. We see the public meetings, we talk to all the councillors regularly, but we don't, attend things like meetings they have with staff to discuss aspects. I mean, everything can't be public. They do have the opportunity to speak at public meetings, but at the same time she's saying, well, if they've got a draft plan, that's what they're talking about. If they have a completely other idea and they don't like the way it's gone, well, it's kind of gone that way already. I can see what she's talking about. I don't know if maybe covert's going a bit far. I imagine Dave Cole would say it was. It's how you look at it, I suppose.